What's going on, my people, and welcome back to Israel's Movie Reviews, and thank you for clicking this channel and rocking with me. Today we're going to be discussing Law Abiding Citizen. Back in 2009, I remember watching this film in the theater with a dear cousin of mine and his friends, and boy, was this a good movie. There's a lot to say about this movie because it's very conflicting, but as we get into this, you'll see why. This movie basically stars Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx, along with Leslie Bibb, and a lot of fine actors in this movie. It's basically a story about a frustrated man who decides to take justice into his own hands after a plea bargain sets one of his family's killers free. This movie was really sad to see in many ways, but the overall theme of this movie is basically exposing America's justice system, and boy, it does a hell of a job in exposing. So we're gonna get straight into it because this movie was exciting in many ways as well. Law Abiding Citizen has all the trademarks of a great film. It has a non-linear plot. There's plenty to say about the state of the world today, as it was back in 2009. Some tough performances and explosive sequences between the two leads. Best of all, it blurs the line between good and evil. And so you're never quite sure who you're supposed to root for in this film. That I found very interesting, very entertaining. You never know which guy's the villain and which guy's the hero, right? Depending on the way you think, depending on the way you view the question in hand. Gerard Butler, to start off with him, he stars as an ordinary man whose family is killed in a burglary gone wrong. Butler then undergoes a startling transformation as he sets up a campaign of revenge against all those who failed to bring his killers to justice. He lost his wife and he lost his daughter. They were brutally raped and murdered right in front of him while he was taped up, helpless, couldn't do anything. The film goes from there, starting off pretty dark and intense, and becoming increasingly more bleak as the runtime goes on. It has plenty of innocent portrayals, because there are people that aren't questioned for the case going the way it did, but they're pretty much innocent. Jamie Foxx obviously is the lead attorney, and he had a lot of meddling in the say-so. And there's some great scenes in this. Butler's manipulation of the prison regulations, which was hilarious. This man, he really did his research over the years in the movie. For instance, the way he manages to wage his vendetta from the interior of the prison into another prison cell, just to, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I don't want to spoil anything for you. But along the way, the film's sense of realism, to me, diminishes a little until we end up with a completely ludicrous event at the end, which is designed to bring closure. It's not on par with, say, Eagle Eye, which is another great film for suspension of disbelief, but it gets there, right? It's just a shame, as with some of the tighter writing in this, it could have been a truly epic movie, although it's great, but it's missing certain things, regarding the plot holes. There's a lot of plot devices in this that either takes it south or ends up mediocre. It turns out to be intriguingly, happily great. This is an oddity. You're gonna have people going both ways. But overall, I think the standout in this movie is Butler. He's a good bad guy, so to speak, effectively channeling some of the his 300 rows of rage. But as usual, Jamie Foxx is completely believable in his role as a lawyer. You can tell he's all he cares about is the win. He doesn't care really too much about the client. But as years pass, you can tell that he actually starts to think otherwise, especially when he starts seeing a lot of his counterparts be murdered right in front of him. I feel like Jamie Foxx definitely excels in this role. It's a shame as the two leads, although they were great, the ending really messed me up. You know, there's a lot to unpack with the ending, but I'm not gonna get into that because there's a problem of where the rooting interest for the audience should lie. Let's face it, because if you're a person capable of doing what this gentleman does in this movie, regardless of the outcome and regardless of what happens to you, if you want to take justice into your own hands, so be it. But the way sometimes it gets exaggerated in this film, sometimes I'm not 100% with it. But at the end of the day, this is a revenge film. It's also kind of a political thriller as well. And you'll see why. But this is definitely a must-watch. I definitely enjoyed it. And it definitely brings me memories because I always think about my cousin when I see this film. I've watched it over countless times already. It's that entertaining. I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. And definitely go check it out. Let me know what you thought on the Discord. And if you liked this video, hit that like button. Hit that notification button. And if you want more news, if you want more content from me, all you have to do is subscribe to the next one. Peace.